My grandparents never told me who I was really actually descended from. For what reason, I have no idea. But after I got older and corrected my life, I decided to do my research to see who I was descended from. And I found out it was Wolfgray that I was descended from. And he, like I said, he was a Dog Soldier leader and the chief of the Suta Band of Southern Cheyennes, which consisted of Northern and Southern Cheyennes, Tatistas and Sutas.
So at one point he was pretty important.
He was important. He was the medicine man, whereas the Northern Cheyennes at that time, their medicine man was called White Bull or Ice. So whenever the Northern Cheyennes came together with the Southern Cheyennes, they were the two main medicine men. And Wolfgray or Graybeard had other names besides Wolfgray and Graybeard. He was known by different names from the different Sioux bands and the different Cheyenne bands. He was known as Blackbeard, Dark, Whitehead. He had all kinds of different names that the different bands knew him as.
Why was it important for you? I mean, obviously you spent some time on that research.
Mm-hmm.
Why was that so important to you?
Because of the way my childhood was growing up, and just the yearning that I felt in my soul that I needed to know which Cheyenne people I was from. You know, who are these people that I came from? You know, who were they? And once I sobered up, I found out, you know, and he was a pretty important man in our tribe back then, you know. He carried a lot of weight, and of course, there's different stories that like they were trying to put the blame on him for all the troubles that the Southern Cheyenne encountered, you know, which it wasn't really his fault. He was just trying to protect the people, you know, by fighting the U.S. government and all this other stuff. So,
do you know what he was actually charged with?
No, but he was called the ringleader of the Adobe Walls outbreak in 1874, 1875. He was considered one of the main. His band and another band were the active Cheyenne that were fighting the government back then. Medicine Water had one band, and my ancestor, Wolfgray or Graybeard, had the other band that were fighting against the government then. And he was considered the ringleader of the outbreak, so that's why they sent him down there.
And tell me what you know about him and his trip down to Fort Marion.
Well, I know that he didn't make it all the way to Fort Marion. He escaped, and then they found him and shot him. And he didn't die immediately. He died a couple hours later, but they left him on the side of the railroad tracks there, 20 miles outside of Jacksonville, Florida. And to this day, his body is still down there somewhere in that area.